How are you guys doing? Today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Tuesday, October 12th, and of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Taking a quick snapshot of where we are in the season, there are two teams that are competing for the coveted Wnba title, as I'm going to get to that in a second. There are now 5 teams competing for the MLB World Series, as 2 teams were eliminated yesterday. And not to mention, football is just getting underway around the world. The NHL season just got started, and the NBA is less than a week away from getting started. So without further ado, I'm going to jump from each sport one by one. Starting off with the WNBA Finals. Game 2 is tonight, as the 5th seed Phoenix Mercury will host the 6th seed Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky were able to pick up a win in Game 1 on Sunday after the Sky won by 14. So, of course, this will be a very big matchup, as with a win here, the Sky would be 1 win away. This is a best-of-5 series, so this is a very big game for both teams. Taking a look at what's going on in the MLB playoffs, it was a bunch of Game 4s yesterday. Starting off in Atlanta, the National League East champs, Atlanta Braves, hosted the National League Central champs, Milwaukee Brewers. The Braves were able to pick up a 5-4 win at home in order to punch the first ticket to the National League Championship Series. Looking at how it fared for the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brewers would score the very first 2 runs of the game in the top of the 4th off of RBI singles from Omar Narvaez and Lorenzo Cain. In the bottom of the 4th, the Braves would tie it up off of a 2-run single from Eddie Rosario to make the game 2-2. The top of the next inning, at the top of the 5th, Rowdy Tellez would hit a 2-run home run to give the Milwaukee Brewers a 2-run lead. And then the Braves would end up scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They scored their first off of a ground out from Jock Peterson, and the second off of an RBI single from Travis d'Arnaud. And in the bottom of the 8th, it would be a solo home run from former National League MVP Freddie Freeman off of Josh Hader to give the Braves the win and help them advance to the next round. For the Milwaukee Brewers in their final exhibition of the 2021 campaign, the start was given to Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer would pitch 3.2 innings. He would strike out 2 batters and allow 2 earned runs before getting pulled in the 4th inning. The loss would go to the Brewers' elite closer, Josh Hader. He would allow 1 earned run in the 8th inning as he struck out 2 batters. With this loss, he's 0-1. In the Brewers' batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. He would go 2 for 4 with an RBI in the Brewers' last game, and also their elite left fielder, Christian Yelich, would go 1 for 5 with a run. For the Atlanta Braves in this matchup, the start was given to Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton allowed 2 earned runs off of 3.1 innings pitched as he struck out 5. The win would go to the Braves' setup relief pitcher, Tyler Matzik. Matzik allowed no earned runs in the 8th inning as he struck out a batter. The save would go to the Braves' closer, Will Smith. Will Smith allowed no earned runs and only 1 hit in the 9th inning as he struck out 2 batters. This would be his 3rd save of the season. In the Braves batting lineup, their elite first baseman and reigning National League MVP, Freddie Freeman, would go 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run. He hit his first home run of the playoffs. Their elite second baseman, Ozzie Albies, went 2 for 5 with a run. Then their left fielder, Adam Duvall, will go 2 for 3 for himself. With this win, the Atlanta Braves have won this series 3-1, and they will go into the next round looking to see who they're going to face off against. If the Giants win this series, then the Giants will get home field advantage, and if the Dodgers beat the Giants, the Braves would have home field advantage against the Dodgers. Taking a look at the other Game 4 that saw a series end, jumping out to Chicago, the American League Central champs, Chicago White Sox, hosted the American League West champions, Houston Astros, and the Astros were able to beat the White Sox 10-1 to eliminate the White Sox from the 2021 playoffs as well. Taking a look at how the scoring went in this game, the White Sox scored the first run of this game off of a solo home run from Gavin Sheets in the bottom of the second. The Astros took the lead in the top of the third off of a 2-run double from Carlos Correa, making it 2-1. In the top of the fourth, Martin Maldonado's RBI single would make it 3-1, and then Alex Bregman's RBI double would make it 5-1 in favor of the Astros. In the top of the sixth, an RBI single from Michael Brantley would make the game 6-1, and then an RBI single from Michael Brantley in the top of the eighth would make it a 7-1 game in favor of the Astros. And then in the top of the ninth, Jose Altuve's 3-run home run would give the Astros the 3-run lead they needed to effectively eliminate one of the best teams in baseball from contention for the World Series this year. For the Chicago White Sox in this matchup, the loss would go to their starting pitcher, Carlos Rodon. Rodon allowed 2 earned runs in 2.2 innings as he struck out 3. With this loss, Rodon is 0-1 on the season. In the White Sox batting lineup, their designated hitter, Gavin Sheets, would finish 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run in the White Sox final game of the year. He was the only player to register a multi-hit game. In their final campaign of the season, their elite shortstop, Tim Anderson, would go 0-for-4 as he struck out. And then their elite first baseman, the reigning American League MVP, Jose Abreu, would go 0-for-2 as he walked. For the Houston Astros in this matchup, the start went to Lance McCullers Jr. He allowed 1 earned run in 4 innings as he struck out 5. The win was given to the Astros' first relief pitcher, Yimi Garcia. He allowed no earned runs in the 5th inning as he struck out a batter. With this win, he's 1-1. In the Astros batting lineup, their elite second baseman, Jose Altuve, went 3-for-5 with 3 RBIs and 4 runs. He hit his first home run of the playoffs, like I said earlier. Their left fielder, Michael Brantley, went 3-for-6 with 2 RBIs. Their shortstop, Carlos Correa, went 2-for-4 with 2 RBIs. Their first baseman, Yuli Gurriel, went 2-for-5 as well. And with this win, the Houston Astros have won this series 3-1, and now they have punched their ticket to the American League Championship Series, where they will get home field advantage against the Boston Red Sox. Taking a look at the third game to take place yesterday, it was Game 4 of the National League Division Series as the defending World Series champs, LA Dodgers, hosted the National League West champs, San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers would beat the Giants 7-2 to keep this series alive and tie the series up at 2. In this matchup, looking at how the scoring went, the first run would come off of an RBI double from Trey Turner to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. The second run will be scored in the bottom of the second off of a sacrifice fly from Chris Taylor to make it 2-0 Dodgers. In the bottom of the fourth, Mookie Betts would hit a 2-run home run to give the Dodgers a 4-0 lead. The Giants would score their first run of the game in the top of the fifth off of a ground out from Darren Ruff. And then in the bottom of the fifth, a sacrifice fly from Mookie Betts would make the game 5-1 for the Dodgers. The top of the eighth, Chris Bryant's ground out would shorten the Giants' deficit to 3 as the game was then made 5-2. And then a 2-run home run from Will Smith would give the Dodgers the 7-2 lead that they would eventually run away this game, that they would run away from the Giants with. For the Giants in this Game 4 matchup, the loss went to their starting pitcher, Anthony DeSclafani. DeSclafani would allow 2 earned runs in 1.2 innings. He would strike out 2 batters before getting pulled in the second inning. With this loss, he's 0-1. In the Giants batting lineup, their elite right fielder, Chris Bryant, went 2-for-3 with an RBI. He was the only player with more than 1 hit. For the LA Dodgers, the start was given to their elite starting pitcher, Walker Buehler. He allowed 1 earned run off of 3 hits in 4.1 innings. He would strike out 4 before getting pulled in the 5th. The win would go to the Dodgers' first relief pitcher, Joe Kelly. He allowed no earned runs as he finished off the 5th inning. With his win, he's now 1-0. In the Dodgers batting lineup, their elite right fielder Mookie Betts would go 2-for-4 with 3 RBIs and a run as he hit his first home run of the playoffs. Their elite shortstop Corey Seager would go 2-for-5 with 2 runs. Their all-star second baseman Trey Turner went 2-for-5 with an RBI. Their catcher Will Smith would end up going 2-for-4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his second home run of the playoffs. Their center fielder, Gavin Lux, would go 2-for-2 with a run. Not to mention that their elite first baseman, Cody Bellinger, would end up going 2 for 4 with a run. He would go with a run for the day. With this win, the LA Dodgers are now 7-2 to start. Or with this win, the Dodgers have now evened up the series at 2, just to give a sense of where they sit this season. And now this game will go all the way down to a Game 5. Game 5 will be played tomorrow in San Francisco, because San Francisco had the better record by a game. They will get home field advantage in the game that determines who will go to the National League Championship Series against the Braves. But right now, that's what the MLB is looking like, as there are 5 teams left and one game left before everyone can advance to the Championship Series round. So that's what's going on with baseball. Of course, not much going on with football, as of course yesterday was Tuesday. But taking a look at what's going on tomorrow, the Philadelphia Eagles will host the defending Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in Thursday Night Football. And then taking a look at what's been going on with soccer, as it has come to FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. Poland was able to beat Albania 1-0 in its matchup. Denmark was able to beat Austria 1-0. England drew with Hungary 1-1, as England's only goal came from John Stones in the 37th minute. Switzerland was able to beat Lithuania 4-0. Portugal was able to beat Luxembourg 5-0, as 3 of their goals would come from their goated forward Cristiano Ronaldo. And then, not to mention that in Asia, or I guess like as it comes to the Pacific nations, Japan was able to beat Australia 2-1 in that matchup, the only really big matchup there. Algeria was able to beat Niger 4-0, as their first goal came from Riyad Mahrez from Man City. And that's virtually everything that you've got going on leading into today, Wednesday, October 13th, 2021, in this quarantine. I want to thank everyone for listening to all 12 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well. And once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back tomorrow on Thursday, October 14th, for another episode of The Elite. And until then, thanks once again for listening to this piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with more tomorrow. Peace out.